और लेकर आइए भाई रविंद्र ठक्कर साहब को स्क्रीन पर। वोडाफोन इंडिया के एमडी और सीईओ हमारे साथ अब इस समय जुड़ते हुए। ठक्कर सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सीएनबीसी आवाज के लिए आज वक्त निकालने के लिए। अच्छा, बढ़िया रिलीफ मिली, वो टेलीकॉम पैकेज आया, उसका अनाउंसमेंट आया, तो काफी हद तक वो जो अनिश्चितता थी, वो अनसर्टेन एनवायरमेंट था, वो खत्म हो गया। कितना रिलीफ सर, और अब किस तरह के केपेक्स की तैयारी कर रहा है वोडाफोन कैचअप करने के लिए?
Package has been announced by the government. A very, very interesting package, and I have to say it's probably as big as packages get. This is as extensive as that. Three different types of reforms that they have introduced. One which is around the area of structural reform in the industry. Another one around operational reforms, things to make business easier. And then the last one is really around financial reform that they have introduced. All of those three things are going to be very, very helpful for the industry, and certainly very, very helpful for Vodafone Idea as well. So I think the main message that comes out from this package from the government, first of all, is that they believe that this is a very, very important industry for India, for digitalization of India, for the future of India, and it's a sector of sectors and very important for the economy. I think this is very important to understand. The second part is that they have also made it very clear that they want this industry to remain very, very competitive. They want at least 3 players in this market. Maybe, of course, more entrants can come in, but certainly they don't want this to turn into a duopoly or a monopoly. So they want this to be a competitive sector. And then, of course, they have shown that they are willing to do structural reforms in the industry as well to make sure that the industry stays robust. For Vodafone Idea, I think the biggest topic, first of all, is that there have been a lot of discussions around the future of the company, whether it will survive, whether it will be staying around or not. We always believed that was going to be the case. We were always going to be around. But now I think hopefully, first of all, we can put that behind us, and we can not, no longer discuss or talk about whether this company will be around, because clearly, first thing, we will be there. The second part is, as you asked about CapEx specifically. So I think there I could say is, with the government saying that instead of paying us for the next 4 years, please take the money that you get of your EBITDA that you get, and please put that into the investment of your company, into your network, improving 4G quality, coverage, digitalization of customers, and other things that, customer experience that you could provide. And that is what we intend to do. We intend to spend all of that money into improving the quality of our network. We also will be going out and doing more fundraising. Again, funds can be raised, which can be invested back into the company as capital investment to again improve the experience. And hopefully going forward, as further spectrum auctions take place in the industry around 5G and so on, we can participate in those as well, and then continue to invest for them.
तो ठक्कर साहब, इसी का फॉलो अप, तो कंपनी, आप कह रहे हो फंड रेजिंग की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, कितना फंड जुटाने की तैयारी कर रहे हो आप लोग? कब तक ये फंड रेजिंग हो पाएगी? किस टाइमलाइन पे आप लोग वर्क कर रहे हो? और अगर बता सकें तो कौन कौन से निवेशकों से, किस पेडिग्री ऑफ इन्वेस्टर्स से आप लोगों की बातचीत चल रही है सर?
The way it works is the cabinet has announced the package, which has the broad terms of the actual relief package. Now, different government ministries are detailing the exact amounts that fall out of that. In fact, they are in the process of doing that. The Ministry of Finance as well as Telecom Ministry are in the process of doing that. We should be getting those numbers from them in a few days. Once we get those numbers and we have the exact amount for each of those items that have been announced, we will then basically update our business plans. Clearly, this has a significant change to our business plan compared to where we were. And once we have those updated business plans, I think then the intent of how much funding do we need, how much capital investments we will make, and so on, those type of things will be. We will then, of course, take that to our board and get their approval. Obviously, appropriate disclosures will be made, because we have to make those disclosures as a public company. And I think that information should be coming out in the coming days and weeks once we have those updated plans. And I think my very, very strong feeling is that this puts the company in a very, very strong footing for future investments into the business and actually improving the customer experience as we go forward.
तो ठक्कर साहब, ठीक है, वो क्लैरिटी जब आएगी, इतना बता सकते हो आप क्या इस समय प्रमोटर्स कंपनी में कुछ फंड इंफ्यूजन का मन बना रहे हैं, इक्विटी डालेंगे? क्या वोडाफोन कंपनी में और पैसा डालने की तैयारी कर रहा है? क्या वो डालेंगे?
First thing is that, you're right. We've been engaged with investors for several months. So they've been saying 2-3 things to us. The first thing that they've said is they're very interested in investing in India. Most foreign investors are very interested in investing. The second thing that they've said to us is that they like the sector. They like telecom as a sector and the digitalization and an essential service to the country. And at the same time, actually, they would like to invest in this sector. They like the structure of this sector as well. The promoters have, you must have seen their remarks after the announcement of the package. I think they have really had a very positive feel coming out of this package and the extent of the package that was given. I would say the promoters, from my experience, I can tell you, as the CEO of the company, they have been very, very supportive, not only in the fundraising processes, but in fact investing their own money that they have over several years into this business. This package is now a complete game changer in the sense that it's a very different situation than where it was just a few months ago. Yeah. Now, as we go through the fundraising process, obviously the promoters will get a chance to participate in the fundraising, whichever process that we go. I am confident that they will be supportive, not only of this fundraising process.
तो अभी क्लैरिटी नहीं है, सपोर्टिव हो सकते हैं. अच्छा ठक्कर साहब, एक हम सब रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स की थोड़ी सी चिंता की बात, रिटेल के मेरे ख्याल से सारे स्टेक होल्डर्स से थोड़ा सा इशू जो बन रहा है, ये रिकॉर्ड घाटे में है ये कंपनी. आप लोग अब जब थोड़ा सा रिलीफ दिख रहा है, कुछ इशू सॉर्ट आउट हुए हैं, गवर्नमेंट मदद कर रही है, आप लोग का बैक ऑफ द एनवेलप कैलकुलेशन क्या कहता है सर? कब तक ब्रेक इवन कर पाएंगे? कब तक हालात पटरी पे वापस लौटेंगे?
The important thing is that we are an EBITDA positive company. I think just we have to remember. So if you think about the revenue that we bring in, operational expenses that we have an EBITDA positive company. And then of course the EBITDA that we are left over is supposed to get invested. The intent is to invest that further into the improvement of the company and so on. Now, because of this situation with the government dues and so on, effectively this money, instead of investing back into the company, was going into payment of these dues. Now, with this duration of 4-year moratorium and the delay of payments, this money can be invested back into the company. So, profitability from a P&L perspective and writing off the earlier, let's say, investments that we made, I think the company will be in the red for a period of time. But more importantly, we have to look at is what happens to the cash that comes in, what happens to the funds that come in, where do they go? And I say I'm very positive, as I said, and earlier on again, we are a EBITDA positive company.
तो अब ठीक है, अब देखते हैं. अच्छा, एक और इशू ठक्कर साहब, वो इशू हम लोग जब वो मंथली आंकड़े आते हुए देखते हैं, ग्राहक जो लग रहा है कंपनी से किनारा कर रहे हैं, वो ग्राहकों की संख्या जो है वो काफी से कम होती चली जा रही, काफी तेजी से कम होती चली जा रही है. क्या कंसर्न्स हैं? क्या आप लोग चिंतित हैं इस टॉपिक को लेकर? ये जो ग्राहक कस्टमर्स छोड़ के जा रहे हैं वोडाफोन को, ये इश्यू है? कब तक इश्यू है तो कब तक अरेस्ट हो पाएगा?
नहीं, कोई कंसर्न नहीं है. I think I'll tell you why. Because some of the earlier losses of subscriber were taking place. We did the most complicated, you can imagine, the most difficult and complicated convergence integration of two networks. Think about this way, Vodafone India earlier and Idea Cellular were two separate companies competing rigorously in the market. They had built their networks over a period of 25 years. Now, in a period of 2 years, we had to undo all of that and redo it again, what we did. During this time, of course, there were many challenges that the company was facing along with the network, and certainly we had subscriber churn because we had some challenges with customer experience during that period of time. But certainly, I think we had churn there. The other part was that there were also, at some point in the last 1 year or so, there were some challenges with whether this company will survive. There was some future, and mostly, I would say, coming from media, even though we were very positive. I think externally, there was a lot of noise being made about whether the survival of this company will be there or not. And I think even those things have been put behind us. So I expect with continued investment in the network and continued investment into the business, and with this government package, we expect a very different story from a subscriber.
ठीक है, तो मतलब अब हालात पटरी पे आएंगे तो ग्राहक लौटेंगे, ग्राहक छोड़ के नहीं जाएंगे. अच्छा, फिर ठक्कर साहब, आरपूस जो कंपनी के हैं दूसरी कंपनी के मुकाबले काफी कम है. अब जब सब कुछ ठीक हो रहा है, जब आपको लग रहा है कि अब नेटवर्क केपेक्स पे खर्च करोगे तो ग्राहक छोड़ के नहीं जाएंगे, क्या अब इन दरों को बढ़ाने का समय आ गया है? टैरिफ हाइक्स एग्रेसिवली वोडाफोन लेगा क्या अब?
No, so our ARPUs are going up. Again, I'll tell you two different ways to look at this. ARPU is a mixture, because it's an overloaded terms, a mixture of two things. First thing is ARPU is what does a customer pay you. We have two, let's say, broadly type of customers. You have a 4G customer and you have a 2G customer.
Yes.
Our ARPU of a 2G customer and a 4G customer is the same as, let's say, the ARPU of a 4G customer and a 2G customer, let's say one of our competitors have. There's no difference. My 4G customer pays me the same amount as a 4G customer of one of my competitor pays to them, and same thing for 2G. So first of all, there's no difference there.
Okay.
The difference that comes in is from a mix. When we give the average for the company, it's a mixture of how many of each one of those two that we have. And certainly as we migrate more and more of our 2G customers to 4G, we expect the ARPU to improve and continue to improve in the industry.
बढ़िया लगा सर ठक्कर साहब आपसे बात करके, थोड़ा सा हौसला बढ़ा। आप सही कह रहे हो, स्ट्रीट ने तो राइट ऑफ कर दिया था, तब ये स्टॉक 3 रुपए 4 रुपए तक गिरता हुआ नजर आया था, तब तो पैनिक मोड में आ गए थे सब लोग। अब हालात पटरी पे आ रहे हैं और ठक्कर साहब कॉन्फिडेंट हैं भाई, कंपनी इज हियर टू स्टे। सरकार चाहती है कि ये दुओपोली बाजार ना रहे, यहाँ पे कंपटीशन बना रहे, एटलीस्ट 3 प्लेयर मार्केट रहे। सरकार ने जो स्टेप्स उठाए वो वाकई फायदेमंद रहेंगे। वोडाफोन अब केपेक्स पे खर्च करता हुआ नजर आएगा, और जब केपेक्स पे खर्च करेगा तो होपफुली ये जो कस्टमर्स छोड़ के जा रहे थे, ग्राहक छोड़ के जा रहे थे, वो सिलसिला थमता हुआ आपको नजर आएगा। हाँ, जहां तक फंड रेजिंग की बात है, प्लान्स अप्रूवल के लिए गवर्नमेंट को दे रखे हैं, और सर का स्पेसिफिकली कहना है भाई फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स भारत के टेलीकॉम स्पेस में बहुत इच्छुक हैं। अब भारत के टेलीकॉम स्पेस में इच्छुक हैं, क्या वो वोडाफोन आइडिया में भी फंड इन्फ्यूजन के लिए इच्छुक है? नहीं, वो क्लैरिटी जब आएगी तब आएगी। लेकिन इस नोट पर इस इंटरव्यू को यहीं खत्म कर रहा हूं। ठक्कर साहब, थैंक यू सो मच।